Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to have another card discussion video or card talk video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking about a card that you can use in some water-based decks that, if you want to, it's a pretty dang good card actually. It's something that I've been playing out and testing in one of my water decks, quote unquote, I use. That's not Mermail or Tree Toad Heroes, and that is my Crab Turtle deck that you guys remember from last year. It's a fun, crazy deck. It's not competitive by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't supposed to be. It's just a fun deck that revolves around Crab Turtle. And this card, when I was researching just good generic water support, which is actually a lot out there, this card stood out above the rest as a good trap card. And that is Spiritual Water Art Alloy. Now, you may remember these guys from way back in the day if you're a competitive player or played back in the day. Spiritual Water Alloy was part of the Tamers back in the day. It's kind of a card, they had ones for fire, earth, wind, but Spiritual Alloy is one of my favorites because it's kind of like a trap dust chute, so to speak, which really is good. So Spiritual Alloy is a trap card. I wish it was a counter trap card, but that's asking too much, I guess. But it's a trap card that states, tribute one water monster. Look at your opponent's hand. Then send one card from their hand to the graveyard. That's not a bad effect. The fact that I literally can set this card, I can set this card face down, and if they try to destroy my monster in any way, literally I can be like, okay, chain, tribute off my monster, kind of like Icarus attack, and then I can go, just target my water monster, tribute it off. I tributed it. Now I'm going to look at your hand. I'm going to gain that knowledge from looking at your hand, what deck you're playing, what cards you have, and if you're very knowledgeable about the game, you can use that to your advantage. That is so much of a bonus, literally, that I can look at your hand and then I can take your best card possibly out of your hand, stopping your combo dead in its tracks, making your deck be slower, whatever the case may be. I can gain that knowledge and take apart your hand slowly. It's kind of like Icarus attack in the fact that it tributes, but it's also just a good card in general. And why I compare it to Trap Dust Chute is because literally you get to look at the opponent's hand and rip a card out of it. And if you got a good memory, you can remember what that card is and you can pick apart your opponent's hand. It's such a good trap card in any water-based deck. I remember when Mermails first came out, Mermails did use this deck. Atlanteans and Mermails, before they became a thing together back in the day, they did use this card, and things like Salvage and whatnot. But there's a lot of good water support cards out there, like Salvage is another good example. Water Hazard, I think, is another good one. That's like a double summon. So if you ever are trying to build a water deck or just trying to build something that's not Mermail, Atlanteans really, there's a lot of good generic support out there if you really want to take a look at it. But this is one of my favorite trap cards to actually play in any deck. And if you're ever curious, you can look into some of the other, tamer type of cards that state like Spiritual Earth or Spiritual Fire, I believe the card, or Spiritual Wind, I believe the card. There's different ones because they were based off the different tamer monsters. And the tamer monsters are actually a deck in general if you want to go more into that. But they have some very good trap cards that are very good. I know Spiritual Wind is a card that it's kind of like a, what is it called? We'll talk about that at a later date, but it's actually a card that's kind of like Phoenix Windblast for a wind monster, but I really love Spiritual Alloy. But till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, and definitely check this card out. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.